You can count on us.
Save $3.49 on juicy whole seedless red ripe watermelons, $15.50 each. Get grilling with frozen baby back spare ribs, just $3.49 per pound. Kraft barbecue sauce, $2.09 for an 18-ounce bottle. For your mac and cheese dish, only $1.69 for a 500-gram box of Catelli macaroni. Save $1.71 on selected varieties of Breyer's ice cream, $6.49 for a 48-ounce tub. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, May 22nd, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. They've had just about enough, and teachers at Harrington Sound Primary this morning staged a sit-in to bring attention to problems caused by a bird mite infestation at the school. But the Ministry of Education assures they have nothing to fear. Gary Moreno has that story.
I'm Dr. Evans, I'm the Commissioner of Education, and I'm here to talk to you about a few issues. So let's start this morning with an apology. Okay? I'm sorry that the Harrington Sound family has gone through this.
Commissioner of Education Dr. Freddie Evans, as he and Education Minister Cole Simons addressed staff, students and teachers at the school this morning in an effort to allay the fears of parents who first contacted us last week, complaining that despite the school being fumigated, their children were still being bitten by the pests. That, according to this Bermuda pest control worker, is a psychological thing.
I felt it throughout the weekend. There were no mites, but I still felt them crawling on me.
His colleague backing him up with these comments.
Speaking as a parent now, my sons actually go to school. I wouldn't send my kids to school knowing that there was a problem.
That still was not enough to convince staff who continued their sit-out following the meeting, despite assurances from the Minister of Education that the situation was well in hand.
And we have done everything we can to ensure that you have a safe environment here. Because we want you to have the best education in a proper environment that is safe and conducive to good learning, and an environment to provide you to coming to and enjoy. So again, my humblest apologies to the teachers, to the staff, to the parents. You have my full support, and whatever resources are needed to have this issue addressed, they will be addressed.
Remedial work was carried out between May 11th and 16th, with access areas being sealed up to prevent birds entering the ceiling after an assessment was carried out and active bird nests and dead birds found on the third floor were subsequently removed. All missing ceiling tiles were replaced, with classrooms in which nests were found being fumigated as part of efforts to get rid of the problem. The ministry advising that bird mites cannot survive on humans and require a blood source from birds to thrive. As such, the removal of the nests was imperative to eradicating the problem. A problem which one parent in particular argues should not have existed in the first place, as he highlighted other issues affecting the faculty and students.
We've heard of other incidents in the school, such as mold, such as rusty water. We know about the dangerous playground equipment, and it's not just a Band-Aid fix that we're looking for. We're looking for comprehensive fixes to these problems so our children can know that they're coming to school in a safe, positive environment so they can learn.
Teachers eventually opted to stay out of the classroom today after discussions with their union president, Shannon James. They did, however, stay on to allow for sports day to take place. The education minister telling us a health and safety officer will carry out further inspections at the school, with a report due to be handed in before the end of business today. The hope being that will be enough to convince staff that the school bird mite problem has been eliminated and classes can proceed as usual. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In other news, political observer Charles Jeffers sees both good and bad in the opposition Progressive Labor Party's motion of no confidence in the government. Speaking with Gary Moreno, Mr. Jeffers suggests it proves the value of independence, but the timing of the move may be off.
The thing I like is the fact that independent MPs have shown that they can have an effect on the passage or non-passage of a bill that's put forward. In my view, that's not a bad thing, because unfortunately in the Westminster system, parties, unless given the opportunity for a free vote, are locked in once the cabinet and caucus makes a decision. And you can be sure that MPs on both sides sometimes have problems with what their party decides. I really don't have much for parties per se when it comes to things like this. Now, when it comes to the call for no confidence and the possibility of an election being called, this is the one thing that I have a serious problem with. As far as I'm concerned, the government is elected for a term. The term should be, in my view, 4 years. They live or die by the record, so they don't jump up and give a snap election, or you don't have this kind of situation arising. And what an inopportune time to be looking at an election when we should be really concentrating on all the things that are happening to sort of turn our economy around. But politics is raising its ugly head right in the middle of everything. So that's what I have a problem with.
But what of the argument that the government is a minority government and is now unable to pass legislation, and hence the need for, or the catalyst for, the motion of no confidence as raised by the opposition leader?
Now people will be listening to their constituents. Because if you know full well that you don't have the power to just pass anything that you like, you'd better get your ducks in a row. So as far as I'm concerned, let the chips fall where they may. Maybe for the first time in a long time, the people who actually vote for MPs will be listened to.
Half price, value pack fresh Purdue chicken drumsticks or thighs. Just $1.79 per pound. Save $1.50 on Bermuda grown red potatoes, $5.99 for a 5-pound bag. Save $2.41 on frozen green giant corn on the cob, $4.99 for a package of 12. Only 89 cents for one roll of Charmin Essential soft toilet paper. This holiday, snack on Lay's potato chips, $3.69 for a 6.5-ounce bag. Have a safe and happy Bermuda Day holiday from the Marketplace family.
The world is getting smaller.
We travel more.
We see more.
We do more.
So you need a bigger health plan like Premier Health.
You have easy access to benefits at home.
1 million U.S. providers accept your ID card
for college, vacation, and business travel.
With 24/7 worldwide assistance,
U.S. pharmacy benefits,
and 96% of claims settled in 5 days,
Premier Health offers you the care you deserve.
Colonial, where people come first.
CGIGroup.com.
Supply chain management. No longer just purchasing and inventory, but logistics, sourcing, contract management, and so much more. In demand by virtually every service industry and organization, this burgeoning profession requires a professional skill set that understands global transactions, enhances systems and processes, and maximizes efficiency for the best supply chain outcomes. International certification is provided through the Supply Chain Management Association, Canada's largest association for supply chain management professionals, and it's available at Bermuda College.
I think if you're passionate about inventory or purchasing, it's something definitely worthwhile pursuing.
You can get a global aspect of how procurement, how purchasing, how sourcing is handled in countries around the world, around the globe.
Contact PACE, the Professional and Career Education Division, to find out about financing options and start dates today.
The 108th Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon Derby is here again, and Power 95 will have all the excitement starting at 8 o'clock with the pre-marathon broadcast live from the town of St. George's. Join our distinguished commentators Mike Sharp, Nick Jones, Mike Watson, Brenton Roberts, Donald Rayner, Kevin Pearson, and Freddie Evans. You can be assured that they will keep you abreast from start to finish. That's Wednesday, May 24th on Power 95 Radio, brought to you by the Colonial Group of Companies, BAC Universal Electric, Lindo's Group of Companies, Security Associates, the Phoenix Stores Limited, Bermuda National Athletic Association, and White Roof B&B.
The investigation continues regarding the confirmed firearm incident which left a 17-year-old male nursing a gunshot wound and which occurred at around 11:15 p.m. Friday night in the North Shore Road, Glebe Road, Devonshire area. Police say the victim was part of a gathering of individuals at a residence in the neighborhood when the incident took place. Reports are 3 females that were also part of that gathering avoided being shot but sustained non-life-threatening, non-gun-related injuries, getting out of harm's way. Detectives are renewing their appeal for any witnesses or persons that saw suspicious activity in the North Shore Road, Glebe Road, Devonshire area around 11:15 p.m. Friday to contact the Serious Crime Unit at 247-1739 or the Independent and Confidential Crime Stoppers hotline at 800-8477. Meanwhile, Premier Michael Dunkley speaking with Gary Moreno about this latest act of gun violence, urging that the authorities cannot put an end to this scourge unless the public plays its part.
We came in and said we would improve the situation in Bermuda, and I think we've done that. Unfortunately, gun violence seems to rise, and then it gets under some type of control and then comes back again. We've worked very hard to try to improve it in any way we can, and I think the current Minister of National Security has worked with the police and has put in some good programs to help us out. But at the end of the day, if we expect that any government minister or any government is going to resolve it completely, it's just not going to be that way. It's the community that has to do something about it. So, Gary, I want to wish the individual well and the family. I heard about it through the debate. It's very concerning that these incidents come up. But let's face it, we live in a small community. There are people who know what happened. The police acted quickly, I'm sure with the help of the community, to apprehend the individual from a week ago. We need to do the same tonight. We cannot continue to have the scourge of violence in our community ruining our young people. We can stand up and do better. We shouldn't be reticent in any way about providing information, because those are our brothers that are getting injured and killed, and it's not acceptable. And I'm not going to stand on the floor of the House of Assembly and play politics with it. It's about all of us.
In other news, a step in the right direction, so says one of the island's most vocal cannabis reform voices, Michael Brangman, in reaction to Parliament's passing of a bill decriminalizing cannabis possession to 7 grams or less. The bill, which was passed by the opposition Progressive Labour Party against government objections, now heads to the Senate for approval, which, if passed, must go to the governor for royal assent before it becomes law. Speaking to Tarai Trott by phone, Mr. Brangman believes in the case of Bermuda, it's better to be late than never.
It's a good thing. I think it's a couple of years late considering the government's sanctioned CRC recommended full regulation. It was positive to hear some of the MPs actually support regulation and to comment that decriminalization fails to deal with the issue of supply. So potentially in the future, I hope that government would look at the issue of supply, either home grow or importation for others that may not reach the criteria for medical marijuana currently. I think it's only advanced stage cancer patients that are getting permits to import cannabis. So I think that needs to be addressed and expanded to other people who can benefit.
Do you view what Parliament did Friday as a baby step towards a wider regulation and wider relaxation of cannabis?
It's politics. It's politics. If it was approached from a practical aspect, the whole issue would be addressed from supply down to personal use. But like I said, it's politics, and politics sometimes is detached from common sense. But that's the best thing we have. We have Parliament. We have a system that we have to work with.
Mr. Brangman believes Bermuda should not stop at decriminalization, but a system of legalized regulation as practiced successfully by U.S. states like Colorado. Turning to weather news, a few light showers for Tuesday, but a gorgeous Bermuda Day holiday in store for our Wednesday. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm Stephanie Omo. As we check out the weather conditions, what's been going on here in Bermuda? Well, we actually did have a weak frontal boundary pass through the area, provided cloud cover and also a few showers around, pretty much remaining stalled out in the area. But fortunately, we're not talking about anything too significant. As we zoom in, really not picking up a whole lot as we continue through the evening hours, through the nighttime hours here around Bermuda. So that's good news here in the area. As we check out some of the conditions for today, or as we now continue through the evening hours, humidity at about 70 to 75%, with more of that easterly flow turning to the southeast, anywhere between 10 to 20 knots, with water temperature in the mid-70s. Waves inside the reef 1 to 2 feet. Meanwhile, waves outside the reef 3 to 6 feet. For tonight, temperatures are expected to drop down into the upper 60s with mainly cloudy skies. Of course, we cannot rule out the chance for a few passing showers to work its way in the area, all thanks to that stalled out frontal boundary. But fortunately, conditions are improving as we head into tomorrow. Just a shower in the morning. Otherwise, the clouds will begin to yield for some sun. So tomorrow looking a little bit better here, and a daytime high of 77 degrees to be expected. Overnight low dropping into the lower 70s. As we check out the marine conditions, the next time for, let's say, that low tide will be through the overnight hours about, let's say, 12:58 as we approach Tuesday. Next time for that high tide will be around 7 in the morning, early Tuesday morning. All right, if you are doing some traveling, let's check out your gateway forecast. In Toronto, temperatures will be in the 70s, a few showers around there, also around New York City at 72. Boston, keeping things on the quiet side with the daytime high of 67 in the 70s in Atlanta. Showers and storms will continue here. Miami, though, many folks enjoying that sunshine with a high of 90, 71, and also quiet in London with mainly sunny skies. As we move along now into the Caribbean, Jamaica, showers and storms also around Barbados. Temperatures will be near 90 degrees, 91 in Trinidad. A few passing showers in the area. Just once again, that easterly trade wind flow. As we continue your extended outlook on Wednesday, we're looking great for Bermuda Day. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s. In the upper 70s, we'll keep it like that on Thursday. We will begin to see the increase of clouds on Friday. This is all thanks to our next front approaching. That's going to result in more in the way of clouds. 78 on Saturday. Look how beautiful we're expected to look here. Plenty of sunshine in the area, so definitely want to take advantage of that as we head into the weekend. Now, remember to be prepared for anything the weather has in store. Tune to local radio stations Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for the latest weather conditions and updates.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
In association with America's Cup Endeavor and BASE, BF&M launched the No Limit Sailing Program for children with autism.
When Kieran first started with us, didn't speak that much. He has very little social skills, so he doesn't understand the social norms.
So the Endeavour programme is focused on giving 9 to 12-year-olds access to sailing through education. The biggest surprises are just how some of the children take to sailing, take to a different environment in a very different way. And one of the boys just putting his hands in the water and feeling the flow of the water. And then some of the other children who may not be able to be competitive in other sports, or having a go at trimming the sail correctly or steering in the right direction.
I'm happy. You're happy, okay. I think in the beginning, something outside of anything that he's ever experienced. Since he started got into the routine of what's going on. He can describe what's going on, so that communication aspect and descriptive language is big for him. Instead of seeing it in a picture, he's experiencing it.
Imagine a kind of comfort that's unique to you. Serta did. The Serta iComfort Hybrid Sleep System. The first hybrid mattress that combines advanced coils with our triple action gel memory foam. For comfort that cradles, supports, and cools you. It's comfort reimagined. The iComfort Hybrid Sleep System.
Exclusively available at Big Savings Zone, Southside, St. David's.
Clearly, this was going to be a challenging road.
There was a lot of work to be done.
Serious disconnect between the board, management, and employees.
My employers stand to have a say in the future of the company.
Change was needed.
The Polaris effect, where labor, management, and corporate have come together to create a unique Bermuda success story.
This sports profile is brought to you by the Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon.
Well, this will be my first year doing the full marathon. Last year I did the relay, so I started out of St. George's, so I did the first leg. I know that, it was very, very hot last year, so I started running in the heat. So I run in the middle of the day to sort of acclimatize myself to that type of heat, because prior to that we were only running in the night. So right now our training consists of running in the evenings, doing my long runs on Sundays, and I run during the day at work, so I run between 1 and 2, so I try to get that good heat in, so hopefully I'll be ready for that day. I tend to run my own race because I am kind of competitive, but if I try to race someone, I make myself sick because I run too fast or I run a bit too slow. But yeah, no, I'm running my own race. What I've done is I've actually run out of St. George's. I live in St. David, so I've run out of St. George's. I've run up to Flats and then I've run straight to town, so I'm sort of getting myself used to running that route, yeah.
It's become a familiar sight on the Great Sound. Magnificent catamarans tearing across the water as they prepare for the America's Cup. The video footage we see is also spectacular, but have you ever wondered how the cameraman gets so close to the action? Well, first thing you need is a very fast boat. More in this report. The world's media are coming to town, and this is how they'll be zipping around. These boats look cool, have a cool name, and boy, can they move. A small fleet of EXO boats has been brought in from Finland to enable the international media to keep pace during America's Cup racing. EXO's CEO, Helsinki-based Dan Colliander, kindly invited Bermuda Broadcasting on board to get a feel for the vessel.
These boats will do about 86 kilometers an hour, sort of 46, 48 knots.
And a hair-raising 6 minutes after leaving All Boys Point, we were among the AC boats practicing near Dockyard. Mr. Colliander told us that strength and maneuverability are two key aspects of the design. Joystick control makes for easy parking. A deep V hull adds stability, while two 350 horsepower Mercury engines provide the oomph.
Because of the joystick control, you're able to just spin the boat around its own central axis and even just dance it sideways into the dock.
Inspiration for the design came from two unlikely sources, Miami Vice and Star Wars. But the boats were chosen for the America's Cup, not for looks, but for their almost military robustness. Built for the harsh conditions of Northern Europe, they should have a little trouble navigating Bermuda waters.
In between Finland and Sweden, we have an archipelago of thousands of islands where you get short, choppy seas, similar to what's inside of the reef here. And if it's running against the tide, it's sort of nasty. And with our deep V hull, it's a nice ride.
Mr. Colliander, who has also brought a passenger cruiser and other boats for the America's Cup, can't wait for the action to begin.
It's just the most spectacular form of racing, and there really are the best sailors in the world. Just tune in and watch on Bermuda Broadcasting, because it's just going to be fantastic.
That was quite a ride. For more details, see exoboats.com or contact their Bermuda representative, Julie Sylvester, 537-3038. Now here's the latest from the sports desk.
We are only 2 days away from the start of the 108th Appleby Bermuda Half-Day Marathon Derby, and with registration still open, current numbers show that 1,090 participants have registered for this year's event, 666 individual runners and 106 teams. A search of the individuals who are deemed favorites sees the men's defending champion Lamont Marshall listed, while former winner Krista Swanek has also registered for the race. However, in a twist this morning, Krista Swanek has released a statement, and I quote, "Unfortunately, the tear in my hip and multiple breaks are too painful. Additionally, every medical professional has strongly advised against me even lining up on Wednesday, so I've decided to make the responsible decision as opposed to the emotional one, and I have pulled out," end quote. Tim Price has been allowed to sign up, while Chase Smith and Jay Donowa have also added their names to the list. On the ladies' side, the likes of Dion Berry, Martina Olszewski-Bell, Melissa Logie, and Karen Smith have all signed up. There is no sign yet of Laura Wright. The Lamont Marshall broke the Bermuda National 3,000-meter record during the Jamaica International Invitational Meet in Kingston, Jamaica on Saturday evening. Marshall, in a field of 12 runners, crossed the line 8th, stopping the clock at a time of 8:05.88. He broke his own record of 8:08.69. He set back on February 11th of this year in Boston. The Bermuda Cricket Board's 2020 finals are now set. It will feature St. David's Cricket Club taking on Bailey's Bay at Seabreeze Oval next Sunday. In the semi-finals, St. David's defeated Southampton Rangers by 6 wickets. Southampton Rangers won the toss and elected to bat, and they were bowled out for 76. Kwame Tucker was the top scorer with 22, while Justin Pitcher claimed 4 wickets for 17 runs off of 4 overs for St. David's Cricket Club. In reply, St. David scored 80 for 4, with Pitcher the top scorer, 28 not out. Kevin Tucker was the pick of the Southampton Rangers bowlers with figures of 3 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 6. Up at the Somerset Cricket Club, Bailey's Bay advanced to the finals with a 6-wicket victory over the Somerset Cricket Club. Somerset Cricket Club won the toss and elected to bat, and they were restricted to 118 for 8 in their 20 overs. Marcus Johnson was their top scorer with 39, while Rodney Trott returned figures of 4 overs, 2 wickets for 8 runs. In reply, Bailey's Bay scored 119 for 4. Stephen Otterbridge was their top scorer, hitting 38 not out, while Isaiah Richardson led the Somerset Cricket Club bowling attack with figures of 3 overs, 2 for 28. Evening League outfit Tough Dogs made it to the plate final, where they will meet Devonshire Recreation Club. Tough Dogs won by 20 runs over Somerset Bridge. The scores: Tough Dogs 161 for 5, Somerset Bridge 141 for 7. Devonshire Recreation Club won by 5 wickets over Willicotts. Willicotts scored 143 for 6, with Devonshire Recreation Club scoring 148 for 5. The Validus Bermuda National Long Course Championships concluded at the National Sports Center last evening. Elin Daly won the girls 12 and under 200-meter IM, touching the wall in a time of 2:32.46. Lindsay Scherer was second in 3:02.68, and Lindsay Smith finished third in a time of 3:08.73. The boys 12 and under 200-meter IM was won by Finn Mosley, who clocked a personal best time of 2:50.55. Charlie Thorpe was second, clocking a time of 3:04.90. Brendan Atkins finished third in 3:07.46. The 2017 edition of the Deloitte Open Tennis Tournament came to an end on Saturday with Gavin Manders claiming all 3 men's A trophies that were up for grabs. Manders and David Thomas battled in the men's A singles final, with Manders winning in a 3-set battle 6-1, 4-6, 6-3. Janaze Bradshaw Douglas won the women's A singles tournament, having won all 3 matches. 14 triathletes from Bermuda finished the Chattanooga Ironman 70.3 event yesterday. Phil Mace and Ashley Estwanick finished as the top male and female from the group.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce. And an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
Imagine your home working as hard as you, harnessing the power of the sun. While you work, we work. Think solar with BAE. Imagine more power, more often with BAE.
Bermuda, get ready on Saturday, May 27th to come to the Snorkel Park for the exciting premiere, the Old School Explosion Open Season. It's back with John and Bus, Mikey B, and us. Man, playing the best soca, R&B, hip-hop, and reggae. Get ready to dance and dance all night long. That's all Saturday, May 27th at the Snorkel Park. The exciting Old School Explosion Premiere Open Season. This event is free from 8 to 10 p.m. Tickets $15 advance, $25 at the gate. Available from ptix.bm, Kit and Caboodle, 27th Century, Caesar's Pharmacy, and the Snorkel Park. This is a Snorkel Park Beach Animal Production.
balancing when we on the road. Watch we balancing, watch we balancing.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.